There's a great amount of uncertainty for EVs, with their promise of fewer environmental consequences and a decreased dependency on fossil fuels. Electric vehicles mark a revolutionary advance in automotive technology. On the other hand, there are a lot of unknowns surrounding their broad adoption. Which are the main sources of ambiguity surrounding electric vehicles? Let's go into more detail about a few of them. The advancement of battery technology will determine how electric vehicles operate in the future. Although lithium-ion batteries are currently the most widely used technology, they have drawbacks in terms of cost, charging speed, and energy density. Advances in next-generation battery technologies like solid-state batteries, which offer faster charging times and higher energy densities, are not without uncertainty. Thanks to these developments, EVs may become much more competitive as they offer longer ranges and faster charging times. Nevertheless, the speed and scope of EV adoption will depend on the commercialization timeline, production scalability, and integration into vehicle platforms, all of which are uncertain. To combat range anxiety and encourage the widespread adoption of electric vehicles, the accessibility and availability of charging infrastructure is essential. There are several different kinds of chargers. Slow chargers, which are AC chargers usually found in homes and offices. Fast chargers, which are DC chargers that can charge an electric vehicle EV in 30 minutes or less. And ultra-fast chargers, which can drastically cut down on charging times to less than 15 minutes. Regarding the distribution of these charging technologies throughout various regions and their incorporation into the current urban and rural environments, there is still uncertainty. Important factors to take into account are the investment in charging stations near highways and in urban areas, the scalability of charging networks, and the compatibility of various charger types. In order to give customers a dependable and convenient EV charging experience, these uncertainties must be resolved. An EV's affordability in comparison to cars with internal combustion engines is influenced by the cost of its batteries, which account for a sizable portion of the vehicle's overall cost. Due to economies of scale, technological advancements, and improved manufacturing processes, battery costs have decreased significantly over the past 10 years. However, future cost reductions are still uncertain. Battery costs are influenced by various factors, including the cost of raw materials like lithium and cobalt, supply chain management, and recycling capacities. The rate at which battery costs decline will have an impact on government policies encouraging the use of electric vehicles, automakers' pricing strategies, and consumer willingness to convert to electric vehicles. The EV market is significantly shaped by government policies and incentives, which have an impact on consumer demand, automaker investments, and infrastructure development. There are questions about the durability and stability of programs like tax credits mandates for the sale of zero-emission vehicles, emissions regulations, and subsidies. Automakers, investors, and consumers may experience uncertainty as a result of changes in political administrations or policy priorities, which may affect consumer behavior and market dynamics. Long-term, coherent policy frameworks are necessary to create market stability, stimulate EV technology investments, and create an atmosphere that is favorable to EV adoption. Various factors such as vehicle performance, driving range, availability of charging infrastructure, and cost competitiveness relative to ICEs influence consumer acceptance and demand for EVs. There are questions about how quickly and how many consumers will adopt new products as tastes change and technology advances solve existing issues. Consumer decision-making is also influenced by variables like resale value, maintenance costs, public opinion of EV dependability, and environmental advantages. By consistently innovating, enhancing vehicle performance, addressing consumer concerns through outreach and education, and improving the overall value proposition of EV ownership, automakers must navigate these uncertainties. Concerns concerning EV driving range and the availability of charging stations on longer trips are referred to as range anxiety. How advancements in battery technology such as higher energy density, quicker charging times, and more extensive infrastructure for charging will allay these worries is still up in the air. Expanding EV ranges and making EVs more practical for daily use and long-distance travel require advances in battery chemistry, smart charging technologies, and vehicle design, such as aerodynamics. There are significant differences in the industry between automakers' approaches to EV production, supply chain management, infrastructure investment, and market positioning. Which automakers will successfully make the switch to electric vehicles, attain manufacturing economies of scale, and set themselves apart in a crowded market are all unknowns. The ability of automakers to navigate uncertainty and take advantage of emerging opportunities in the electric vehicle EV sector is influenced by various factors, including supply chain resilience, technological innovation, regulatory compliance, and brand reputation. Establishing collaborative and strategic partnerships among industry stakeholders is imperative in order to tackle shared challenges expedite the adoption of new technologies, and propel sustainable growth within the electric vehicle market. The international supply chain for electric vehicle EV components, such as batteries, electric motors, and vital minerals like cobalt and lithium, is vulnerable to supply constraints, trade policy changes, and geopolitical unrest. Reliance on raw materials from restricted geographic areas creates supply chain risks that may affect the price, availability, and sustainability objectives of EV production. Investing in domestic production capabilities, encouraging responsible mining practices, and diversifying supply sources are ways to reduce supply chain risks and guarantee a steady supply of vital materials for electric vehicle production. International coordination and cooperation are essential for resolving issues with the global supply chain and fostering the expansion of the durable and sustainable EV market. Automakers and geographical areas have different timelines for electrifying their vehicles, which are impacted by things like supply chain readiness, consumer demand, legal requirements, and technological advancements. How quickly automakers will shift from producing internal combustion engines to producing electric vehicles is a matter of some debate. While some automakers take a more measured approach to electrification, others have set lofty goals, hoping to introduce full EV lineups within the next 10 years. Managing workforce transitions in traditional automotive manufacturing hubs, securing dependable supply chains for batteries and electric motors, and increasing production capacities for EV components are among the challenges. In order to ensure that electrification timelines are in line with market demand, regulatory requirements, and technological advancements, coordinated efforts among automakers, suppliers, and policymakers are essential. The automotive industry's workforce is impacted by the shift to electric mobility, which affects areas like supply chains, service infrastructure, and engine manufacturing. The overall effect on employment of automakers' investments in EV manufacturing plants, electrification technologies, and workforce retraining initiatives is unclear. In hubs for the production of automobiles, factors like automation, changes in labor demand, and regional differences in economic resilience affect workforce transitions and employment stability. A fair transition to electric mobility and a mitigation of potential job displacements require proactive measures such as skill development initiatives, job creation programs, and economic diversification strategies. To maximize employment opportunities, build workforce resilience, and ensure inclusive economic growth in areas impacted by, among other things, labor unions, policymakers, and educational institutions must work together. Vehicle-to-grid V2G technology enables bidirectional energy flow between EVs and the electrical grid, offering potential benefits such as grid stabilization, energy storage, and revenue generation for vehicle owners. Uncertainty surrounds the scalability, regulatory frameworks, and economic viability of V2G systems, as well as their integration with existing electricity markets and utility operations. Challenges include developing standardized communication protocols, ensuring cybersecurity, optimizing V2G system efficiency, and aligning financial incentives for EV owners and grid operators. Exploring the full potential of V2G technology requires collaboration among automakers, utilities, regulators, and technology developers to address technical, regulatory, and economic barriers. Pilot projects, regulatory pilot programs, and public-private partnerships are essential for demonstrating V2G feasibility, evaluating market opportunities, and unlocking the value of EVs as distributed energy resources. Navigating these detailed uncertainties requires strategic planning, collaborative partnerships, adaptive policymaking, and ongoing technological innovation to address challenges and accelerate the transition to sustainable electric mobility worldwide. If you liked our video, then hit the like button and subscribe for more details.